guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I'm bringing you my July faves. July. Well, we are no longer in July, so now I can do a culmination of all of the things that I have faved throughout the past month of July. First thing on that list, before we even get started, I want to say, in all non-cheesiness, like my subscribers, you guys are my faves. My subscribers, the people that, you know, support this channel, the people that support my Etsy shop. It's just been, I mean, you know, I get a few sales here and there through my online shops, through my website, and sometimes through Etsy, but mostly it's through like one-on-one client readings, you know, here in town in San Diego. But it just seems like, you know, I've gotten so many sales, you know, through my website, through Etsy this month, and it's just been a really abundant month, and I've been so grateful and so thankful. I love making those little room sprays. The really popular sprays have been, you know, the room and body sprays. Mostly the Full Abundance spray and the No Bad Vibe spray. And you know, I've been loving doing readings, and it's for people all over the world. Like I got to read for people in Brazil, I got to read for people in France, I got to read for people like out in the UK. It's like, wow, like holy crap, like this is really awesome. I almost like don't want to go back to school. And school's starting in August this month. School officially starts Tuesday, August 15th. Enough of that. Let's go ahead and go on with our faves. I actually want to start off with teas that I've been loving. I love to put together kind of my own concoctions and things like that when I drink my tea. I take my tea drinking very seriously. But one of my boyfriend's customers got him some Dragon Well tea, which is tea that I drank when I was in China a few years back, and I was like, and I had always wanted to get it, and now I see that it's like on Amazon, but you know, you got to kind of dig around for the good quality. But this is like really good stuff, and this came from one of his customers. And so a recipe that I learned while I was in China was to mix a couple of things with this tea. So it's basically just a loose leaf tea, I guess you guys can kind of see in there. And you just let it steep, there it is, for about 5 minutes. And then you can keep drinking it though, like you don't have to like toss out these tea leaves. You can, you know, keep pouring yourself a pot. Like it's meant to go like in a little pot, and then you serve it in the little like teacups. But I just put it in my mug, and then I just keep refilling my mug with hot water, and it literally makes like a bunch of cups of tea. What I like to put in that tea is hawthorn berries. I usually put like maybe five or six hawthorn berries, maybe less, four to six hawthorn berries, kind of whatever a handful is. And there's the hawthorn berries there, but it's really good for digestion and immune system and things like that. I probably wouldn't eat the berries, but I do like them steeping in the tea, and I can kind of, you know, get a little bit of the flavor from it, and I get a lot of the health benefits. I don't know yet if consumption of the actual berry would be okay, but I do know that it's perfectly fine in a cup of tea. So there you go, my hawthorn berries. So you take your Dragon Well tea with some hawthorn berries, and lastly add in a couple of shakes of orange peel. So orange peel, you know, oranges go high in vitamin C and all that good stuff. But when you mix it with the hawthorn berry, it's just like, you just kind of feel really clean afterwards. I will say it will clean, wink, 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 your digestive system. So I would probably only drink this concoction maybe once a week or so, or less. I mean, you know, maybe not every day, because, you know, excess in moderation. So but this I try. I almost drink this every day because I just love it. Another tea that I've loved making is mullein. Not sure if it's pronounced mullein or mullein, but I pronounce it mullein. M-U-L-L-E-I-N, also known as graveyard dirt. But I find that this is really good for tea leaf readings, and it's just a really earthy tea. I like it. I enjoy it. This is definitely an herb that you want to put into a strainer and strain it into your tea. Otherwise, it just floats all over the top of the tea, and you're like, it's like all over. I mean, yeah, if you're gonna do a tea leaf reading, you're just gonna have to suck it through your teeth, like. But yeah, this has been really good, and this is very protective. So actually, my buddy that's been staying with us, he's been kind of under a lot of like energetic attacks. So I've been having, I'm putting a little bit of this in his regular tea, but also like just this in general is like the tea itself. And I've noticed that it's really starting to help. So, and I also kind of put this around the house too for protection as well. Other things I'm loving are my smudge sticks, my sage. So let me just open this bag. Not that you guys can smell it, but I can, so, oh yeah, that's the stuff right there. Okay, so these are kind of messy, so I don't want to take them out, but this is a white sage smudge stick that I got from my local market. That is comes from, well, we have a lot of reservations in our area, a lot of like tribal reservations. We have the Sequan, and we have Barona, we have the Pala, we have the Kumeyaay. So we have a lot of like Indian tribes in the area, and so we usually get like a lot of the smudge sticks from them. You know, they kind of make it on the reservation, then sell it off in the stores in the area. And then this top smudge stick is white sage and cedar, which smells really, really awesome. And then this one down here, I got from 2 moon boxes ago. This is how we're telling time, y'all. 2 moon boxes ago, 2 moons ago. This is sage and mugwort, which if you're going to have any sort of law enforcement over at your house, make sure they're your buddies, because it really smells like you freaking hot boxed your house. I mean, I don't smoke pot, but I'm also not ignorant. It's like, I know what pot smells like, and like the whole house just reeks of weed. You're like, what? My boyfriend walked in, he's like, is this a Cypress Hill concert going on here? Like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, cleansing the energy. So yeah, I've been really, and this is down here is just sage that we pick from the area around here. We have natural sage bushes that just grow naturally on our desert hills, which is pretty cool. So yeah. Also, I am loving my tomato plants. I have, if you guys follow me on Instagram, at Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. You've seen my garden back there and the hummingbirds that come and play in the water as I'm like watering my garden. But my tomato plants have really started pushing out the tomatoes. We have a few different kinds. I always forget off the top of my head because we've had so many different kinds of tomato plants that I don't even really know what's out there anymore, but they're delicious. And so I just picked these yesterday, and these are almost like a beefsteak tomato, but like with a hint of sweetness. So it's pretty awesome. I have a couple of sprays that I'm loving in the month of July, and that's rose water and glycerin. I've loved this spray for a long time, and it's actually made in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And it's made with Vormag water and natural vegetable glycerin and rose damascena, which is hydro essential rose flower oil. My acupuncturist, aka my mom, aka my buddy, Dr. Wang, she has this in her office and she sprays it over her clients all the time, and I've come to really love this smell. Well, I mean, I have roses, I love the smell of roses, but this is like literally you're being showered in rose petals, and it's awesome. So I finally got myself a bottle, and every morning, middle of the day, at night, I think I'm probably gonna have to buy a bottle when I go back to school and just kind of keep it at my desk to kind of cleanse myself in between classes, because sometimes the kids, they be sucking my energy and my patience. And I'm gonna do a little self-promoting. One of my most popular sprays this month is my Full Abundance spray. So this is a very spicy, uplifting, go-getter scent. I've actually been spraying it on myself, and so I'm like, let's see. I'm like, is it my abundance spray that's bringing out all the abundance, or is it like me working my ass off, or is it a combination of the two? I think it's a combination of the two. So not only have I been using my full abundance spray, but this has been very popular on my Etsy shop and my my shop on my website as well. Also, on a side note, my boyfriend's clients who've now started seeing some of my stuff on YouTube and on Etsy are also requesting sprays. So it's like kind of through him, which is like, he does window film. So it's like, it just, you know, when he starts talking about me, they're like, I think we know that girl. And so I don't charge anything for that. You know, I mean, those are his customers, and he usually creates really good rapport with his customers. So just like to be nice, you know, I'll whip them up a batch of whatever spray they wish. I must say that the month of July has been very mosquito-y. And as we speak, I'm glad that you guys can only see me from the waist up, because from the waist down, I'm covered in mosquito bites. So in case you don't have any calamine lotion on hand, I do have essential oils that I use when I run out of this, or I'm too lazy to go get this because my essential oils are closer to my reach than this is. So if you don't have any calamine lotion for the itchiness that you may encounter during the buggy season of the muggy season of July and now August, might I suggest citronella. So citronella kind of stinks a little bit, so maybe if you're gonna get close and personal with somebody, maybe you don't want to put that on your skin then. But sometimes I just put it in one of my little oil burners, but I put in a little bit of olive oil sometimes to mix with this, just so it's like a really light scent and it just keeps going, and then that can kind of keep the bugs out from at least a perimeter around me, so that's really good. So to keep the bugs away, bugs or at least mosquitoes and some other flying bugs don't like the smell of lavender. So I have the lavender herb, and so sometimes I can carry the herb with me, but sometimes I just, you know, put this on. I mean lavender smells nice, so you know, I'll put that on, especially if I'm going out watering. But yesterday I did not do that, which is why I'm sitting here with a ton of mosquito bites. So like, that'll teach me. I'll remember for next time. In case you do get bit, lemon oil will take the itch out of your mosquito bites, and it'll actually take it out faster than your calamine lotion can. So FYI. Other couple little things before I move on to maybe some books that I've been loving in the month of July is my spiritual barrier oil that I got from July's moon box. I've been putting this on maybe 2-3 times a day, and actually just put it on my shoulders, almost like, I don't know, arm pads, like pads kind of like football players. I just feel like I'm putting on my spiritual like armor, just because I feel like it's been a very heightened spiritual month, in the form of energy, in the form of entities, in the form of many things going on. So I just felt like I needed a little bit of extra protection. Oh, faves, actually it's a fave all the time, is I love when I get freebies. I don't shop for makeup often because, as you can tell, I don't wear a ton of makeup. I'm only wearing lipstick right now. Yeah, I'm not like a huge makeup-y person. You know, I live kind of in it's like a weird like beach desert-y area. So you know, I sweat a lot, and I'm an oily person, so I don't like my makeup just a bit, and I want to be able to touch my face because I rub my eyes and things like that. So I finally garnered enough points at Sephora, where I really only purchased lipstick and like nail polish remover, and I got a free tube of lipstick. And I mean, I had a choice of a few things, but when I heard like hot pink lipstick, I was like, yeah. So there you go, and that's what I'm wearing. Like, books for the month of July. First is actually a journal. I'm finally on to my new journal. I always love when I can start a new diary, and I thought this was so cool because this is where I wish I was like every day. I wish I taught like in the mountains or something. So anyway, I started it off with this is diary number 14. Been writing since 1991 or 1990. So yeah, well, you guys can't see my diary, like, psh. But yeah, that's anyway the inside cover. And so usually I like to like decorate my diaries, and like if I come across something cool in a magazine, I cut it out and I usually like to paste them on here and stuff like that. So yay, I'm starting a new diary. So this book, it's the Dictionary of Symbols, and it's kind of a reference book. One of my lovely subscribers out in Belgium, she did a review of this book, and I love the review and everything that she had to say about it, and she talked about all the symbols in here. So straight away I went to Amazon, and bam, I could find a copy in English, which was awesome. And it was pretty cheap too, and it got here in a couple of days, and this has been an awesome reference book. So I just randomly turned to a page, but if you come across a symbol in your dreams, or a repetitive symbol that's you know, that you see out in nature, out in the world, if there is a symbol that's coming to mind a lot, if there's a symbol that you see a lot in the tarot, you can go to this book. And all this, it's not comprehensive, it is like a freaking thick book. Let's say I'm seeing pyramids everywhere, so you know, I happen to turn to pyramid here. It'll give you a backstory on pyramids, and it'll go into pyramids of all different cultures. So it's like tons and tons of different cultures and how they view that symbol and how that symbol is relevant in that particular culture. So it's like history. Like there's, yeah, see, all of this is like pages, a couple of pages on pyramids from the perspective of various cultures. And I find that really interesting, and sometimes you can get a lot of like really good insight, you know, especially if you have a reoccurring symbol. So I thought this was pretty cool. So you know, if you guys, you know, want to pick this up, I think this is a really good book. I also, because I like to do bibliomancy, I think this book is great too. So like if I were to say, what is a message that one of my viewers needs today? And then I just kind of move my finger around. Ooh, we land on urn. So, and this one's really small, but it says also to look under jar, pot, or vase. The funerary urn enclosed the dead person's ashes, whereas the sarcophagus held the unburned body. Funerary urns, round or square, in metal, marble, pottery, or glass, convey the symbolism of the dwelling or house. In the arts, the urn was the vessel from which the waters flowed, and it symbolized the fecundating powers of streams, see river. Generally speaking, urns relate to the female principle, strengthening the security of the home with the dynamism of fertility. I can't even speak today. In Chinese Buddhism, the urn is one of the 8 figures of luck. So isn't that cool? And that was just like a little ditty on urns, you know, but think about the ones where it's like a few pages long. So definitely check this out, the Dictionary of Symbols. And then there is some of the couple of the authors on the back. An oldie but a goodie is Zebu. I keep this by my nightstand, and if you don't already know, I love to flip into books and kind of get a message from that. So if you kind of flip through here, you might actually, weird, this keeps coming up quite a bit. It's the unity symbol, and so these are like angelic symbols, and you can photocopy the symbol, put it above your door, put it under your pillow. You can take a pen and like write it on your skin, but there are various ways that you can incorporate these symbols into your day to kind of you get the energy or the essence of that symbol integrated into your daily life. And so it gives you like the color, the gemstone, the physical body that it relates to, and things like that. So yeah, and usually I just like to trace it with my finger, and my lucky number is 4, so I usually just trace it like 4 times, and I like to say what the translation is. So for unity, it's tata no, so I'm like tata no, tata no, tata no, you know, things like that. So Zebu by Debbie Zylstra Almstead. Check it out. So that's one I've had for quite a while now. And my old fave, my steady companion is Ted Andrews' Animal Speak. So I've been really, I mean, I connect with animal energy already, but it's like now my world has opened up and I can actually understand many more of the messages that the animals just in my area are giving me. Like the hummingbirds, there's a red dragonfly that like hangs out with me and follows me all over my yard. There's the black and yellow butterflies, not the monarchs, but monarchs are coming by too. We have had more ravens in the area. I mean, usually we have a lot of crows, and all of a sudden I was like, these crows are really big, and there's not a lot of them. There's only like 2 of them, and their caw is different. And so I was like, usually I don't like give a crap about ravens because usually there's so many crows. Like there's so many crows in the area that like people hate crows in this area. So I'm like, but I really felt called to like look them up, and I was like, oh, those are ravens, and that's like pretty cool. And so I've been getting some really cool messages about that. So I'm also looking into animals that like I don't like, you know, like black widow spiders, which are all around the outside of my house. I'm like, okay, there must be a message that I'm not getting, as well as that it's black widow season, so that's also part of that too. But you know, and you have to take common sense into things, like, you know, if you're, you know, if it's a certain season for a certain bug, you know, that could mean something. But like also, why are you encountering it so much, and think about when you're encountering it and what were you thinking at the time of encounter. And so then it tends to have a lot more meaning instead of just, oh well, there's a lot of spiders in the area anywho. So yeah, I've been loving this. Okay, we've come to the very end of my faves for July, and that's decks. And so I'm going to go through these rather quickly, but I want to start off by saying that I've been on a huge like Will Worthington kick. Like I've felt like really, like I love his art, but I've been kind of like in an earthy, foresty. I can't wait to like, I think maybe I want to go to Yosemite or maybe hit up the sequoias before I have to go back to school. Like I really feel I need to just be away. I need to be in a forest, and like Will Worthington's work really calls to me in that way. So I did a review of this, the Druid Plant Oracle, where I let everybody know that this is the reprinted version, like it's now in production again, and so you don't have to pay the whatever $200, not that I was going to, for, you know, somebody's used deck, but yeah, you can get this for like 20 bucks out of the UK. Like, so I was like, yeah, I mean, over here in the US I had to wait a couple of weeks, but you know, for something that I've been waiting for so long, I think I can wait a couple of weeks. So I've been really digging this. And here are just, well, here's the backings. Many of you are very familiar. And here's just some of the cards. And so in my review, I kind of talked about what I did with the extra cards, that I used kind of some of the plants in my area. So I like to use these for daily draws. I haven't used this very much in spreads. See, like that's something that I put together. But I do like it for you know, just, well, I wouldn't say quick answers, but like I think that one card is sufficient in asking questions. Sometimes I can do a big elaborate spread, but with these there's just so much going on in the card that it's like there's a spread, if that makes sense, like going on inside the card. So yeah, Will Worthington's, this is his artwork, not his deck. This is by Philip and Stephanie Cargrom. The Druid Craft Tarot deck. So also been loving this. You guys have probably seen this a ton, like on my Instagram. And there are the backs of those. I'm kind of thinking, I've never edged a deck before, so, but I'm kind of feeling it needs some edging. But I totally connect with the characters in here, and you know, it was weird at first because I had seen this deck online. I was like, well, I don't know, like some, you know, I was getting a weird vibe, like I wouldn't vibe with it, but then I don't know, I just went ahead and bit the bullet because everybody was like saying how good it is, and it's just like I'm in the scene, I'm like in with these people. So this has been rad. So yeah, I'm going to show you just one more card. Okay, so I think I did a review of this one. If I haven't, then expect a review to be coming. And this is by Mark Ryan and John Matthews, and it's illustrated by Will Worthington. And I must say that the Druid Craft Oracle that I just talked about is not by Will Worthington, that is just the artwork by Will Worthington. The authors of that deck are the same authors as the Druid Plant Oracle, so that's Philip and Stephanie Carr-Grom. So this is a more recent purchase, but I've been working with it quite a bit, kind of towards the tail end of July, and that's the Wildwood Tarot. And there was a lot of things that kept me from working with the deck. There was like a few cards I had seen online where they just like kind of looked creepy. I was getting a lot of like the creepy vibes, so I was like, well, I don't really want that. But I've been really into Will Worthington's art, so I was like, well, maybe if I have it in person it won't be as creepy. And I was right. So here's the backs of those, and here we are. So a lot smaller cards, you know, than the other two decks I held. There is a deck that's on my wish list that's also illustrated by Will Worthington, and that is the Green Man Tree Oracle, where I believe it's like a 25 card deck, but it's really hard to find, and if you can find it, it's like $100 something, and I'm like, I don't know if I feel like $100 something for 25 cards. So that might be another one where I'm just like kind of crossing my fingers, and I hope that it goes in reprint like the Druid Plant Oracle. So that would be cool. So yeah, let's just pull you guys a couple more. And there we go. So I've been on this like animal kick. So I also busted out my Animal Totem Tarot, which I think goes really well with the Will Worthington art kick that I've been on. Maybe it's just like a particular art style, but that's the backs of them. And these are like a buddy. You know, I don't know, it just feels like I've used them before and like we've connected before, so it just might be the energy coming off of it or the animals in here. But I've really been loving it, and I notice it works even better if my little Wally is around, and actually he's on the sack in the bedroom sleeping right now, surprise surprise. But yeah, if he's chilling on my lap and I have these cards, it just seems like that they work 10 times better. So yeah. Another deck that I've been using in July is the Das Orakel der Göttin, which is the Oracle of the Goddess, and this was on my wish list for a while. Got this straight out of Germany, waited 5 awesome weeks, did a whole review on it, and I got all my beautiful cards minus one, which I made myself. So I replaced the tarot card. So yeah, I've been enjoying working with these. I've actually been placing on my altar, or I have been using in meditation. So if I'm like, who would like to work with me right now, and let's say I pulled Inanna, I would read up a little bit on her using my Google Translate for the guidebook, and then also doing some Google search and just kind of like connecting with that energy. And I just feel I love Jo Dosei's like work, her artwork. So yeah, and I believe the Vision Quest Oracle or Tarot has the same, you know, her same artwork. Well, she's the same artist, and I have that as well, and I feel that they pair very well together. I also received the Invisible Light Tarot this month, and that is by Brandy Eve Allen, and here are the backs of the cards, just like the box. And I feel this is like a no mess around, but I'm not doing it in a mean way kind of deck, where it's going to give you the answer straight, but it's not at the same time trying to like break you down or anything. And I love the photographic artwork. You know, as a photographer myself, I have a deep appreciation for, well, all forms of art, but special little niche for photography. So yeah, definitely have been using this deck quite a bit. It is by my nightstand. The Oracle deck that I think pairs really well with that Invisible Light Tarot is the Universal Mind, and this is by Michelle Black. Michelle Black is such an awesome person. I'm actually also in her Facebook group, which is the Herbal Apothecary. So if you don't know who she is, you need to go check her out. It's kind of weird. It's like she's a parallel me, you know, on the you know, in another state, which is kind of cool. But here are the backs of her cards. She's a photographer as well. We seem to have like a lot of the the same interests and things of that nature. But yeah, I love her. I love the kind of layering that she's done with this. Some of them are, I mean, they are her own photographs, but she's layered some stock photos on top of them. And I think it just like trips me out and takes me to some really cool meditations. I have used them in spreads. I've used them along, like I said, the Invisible Light Tarot. I've used them along with the Star Child Tarot. And I think it pairs really well. I love the messages. You know, it's just a keyword down here, or a couple of keywords, but it's pretty deep. So definitely check out Michelle Black's work. My final deck for this, and I've been kind of deck heavy this month, is the Conscious Spirit. And the Conscious Spirit is written and illustrated by Kim Dreyer. So this is a deck that I didn't think I would ever work with. I did receive actually the card that's on the cover here with last month or the month before's moon box. And you know, sometimes the moon box will send you a card and that'll be like your message for the month, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then it's like, since then I see this deck everywhere, and then this deck, here's the backs here, and then this deck came up for I kept seeing it coming up for trade like multiple times, and finally I just got the urge to like, okay, I will trade something for it. So I ended up trading one of my lava stone bracelets that I make on my Etsy shop for this deck. And yeah, it's powerful. I mean, I was like, I don't know how I'll do with it, but it's like, I guess you really don't know until you have a deck in your hands, like how you're gonna work with it. So I've been using it a lot for chakra work. I've been using it for meditation. I've been using it for spreads. I've been using it for everything. And so once I work with it a little bit more, I think I'm also going to start using it for client readings as well. Okay, I lied. I actually have one more fave to show you guys. So hold that thought. It's Wally Wallito. I mean, what's a faves video without my little puma? He's a faves all the time. He's a faves all the time and forever and always. I'm gonna get kiss marks on you. Oh, he just purring. Yeah. Say hi, Wally Wallito. Alright, so that's it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my July faves and you enjoyed ending this video with a little Wally Wallito. And so let me know if you guys have any questions or you want to leave any, you know, comments. Then you put that in the comments section below. If y'all would like to catch a reading with me, know that you can do that by clicking on the information box below, and that'll take you to my website, to my Etsy shop, or you can click on one of these boxes that pops up here. Alright, Wally, what should they do now? He said, give him one thumb claw up. That's what he said. Alright, you guys, don't forget to click subscribe, and I'll see you spiritual homies later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.